love that music. Selected by my next guest, Patrika Darbo, one of my favorite actresses. Thank you so much for being
back
here.
at you.
Just your name, Patrika Darbo. I mean, that is a beautiful name, just saying it that way.
Honey, when I did
Patrika-
Bottoms Up, it said I sounded like a stripper. Here she comes, Patrika Darbo.
Then that's right. Why not? You got to start how you got to start in this business,
There
right?
you go.
But you are best known. I mean, everybody knows who you are, okay? For Babe, Days of Our Lives, The Burbs, and Bold and the Beautiful, of
Yes.
course. You did quite a bit of work on that this year, in fact, right?
Yes.
You've
I
got a
finished up
recurring
this
role
year.
on that.
Well, I started off contract, and then we did about a year and a half, and then I'm now on recurring. So yeah, but it's fun. It just opens more doors. You get to do more things when you're on recurring.
You think? How many years have you been acting in this business? Because I hate mentioning someone's age, but I love to mention yours because you look 25 years younger. You're adorable. You just make me laugh. You're one of those people when you walk in the room, you've got such a great energy about you.
I'm 70.
No.
I've been doing it full time since '84. Previous to that, in the 1970s, I
What
was
were you
doing
doing
it part-time.
before that? Weren't you like
I
in
was,
an office or something?
I was a national credit manager for JBL Speakers and did acting part-time. Had a man tell me that it didn't fit the corporate image, left that, didn't.
Bye-bye.
So,
Aren't you glad he did?
Yes, I think I am. And, sometimes I'm of that age where security is more important, where your father says, learn to type, because you're going to need to type. That's what all women had to do. You typed and filed.
I bucked everything because everybody knows who've at least been watching the show for a while. I was told you got to be a bookkeeper. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to be a bookkeeper. So I found my way. They're like, what do you mean? You want to write for a living? You want to be on TV? What? So I know what you mean. So it's like, all right, never mind.
But there's a part of you that listens to your parents, of course, and there's a part of you that feels for security. So when I left the corporate image job, I didn't quite have enough nerve to do it full time. And then I worked for another company where the man said, you're a woman no more than a goat. Don't ever contradict me again. When I did stand-up, I used to go, bye, like this. So he was
I hope you named him,
oh,
too,
listen, I
monster.
couldn't. But I told the president he had 2 weeks, 2 minutes, and he was lucky I wasn't suing him. So, but
God,
here I am.
How many of us just have that? And here you are, at the end of the day, you just have to keep going and just try to bury those people as we go along the way and hope that the next generation of people, that it's a little better and a little easier, because they really can't get away with saying that kind of stuff anymore. They do it, but there could be consequences.
We have so much to talk about, but I have to say we were talking about the news today. When you have someone saying things that are, don't let them monkey around and stuff on the news and stuff today that's going on. I mean, it's going to be tough. It still is a tough world for all of us out there right this moment, but I think if we try to be kind and listen to one another. I auditioned earlier today with all these ladies I've auditioned with for 40 years.
You were on an audition before you came
Yes.
here? You said you were in your audition clothes.
Yes, because I was a
it's so
housewife.
cute.
I was a housewife with trick-or-treaters. Oh, aren't you cute? Yeah, what are you? Oh, Superman. Okay. I mean, that kind of stuff. So anyway, I was in my little plaid shirt and this kind of thing. You have a whole
They
set.
came to my house with trick-or-treating. I mean, always the same thing, my sweats all the time. So you're in your little housewife outfit.
That was my little plaid outfit and stuff like that. But we were funny because we were talking about the kids today. There's no conversation. They don't know how to talk to one another. Everything is on the phones. Whereas you and I can sit, go have coffee and have a conversation, or everybody in this room can have a conversation, but the younger generation doesn't talk to one another anymore.
That is kind of true, because I have plenty of friends who are younger than me, and they prefer to text me, Kaylee, and I'll be like, oh, can I call you? No, I'm busy. But she'll text me for 10 minutes, and I'm like, what's that about? I think you're right about that.
Yeah, we don't have that conversation with each other.
They don't want to get stuck in a corner with a question they can't answer. That's what it
Maybe
is.
that's it.
Right?
There you go.
I have to tell you. Although I do think people who are, a little younger than millennials, I'm not a millennial, but those who are, I think they're also more accustomed to working side by side, men and women together, because they grew up that way, right?
I think so, but again, they're still side by side with their fingers on the buttons here. They're not like looking at each other's eyes saying...
Right, but I'm talking more about like feeling equal to the person that they're working with. Don't you?
Probably a little bit, because we've passed that part where boys go into science and girls go into cooking. So we've passed that. So I think there is a more equality.
I couldn't go into cooking. I mean, even when I was in high school, I really did. The home ec thing just didn't work. My parents never pushed it. They knew I couldn't, do that kind of stuff. And after 3 days of bookkeeping, I said, please, please. And they're like, okay, you don't have to do it again. So they were pretty cool about stuff like that, I have to
But
say.
see, that's it. I think sometimes parents need to listen to their kids. They don't do that. And when you get shoved into corners that you are uncomfortable with, you're not going to succeed because you're unhappy.
Oh, I have 3 kids who couldn't be more different. One's interested in entertainment. One is studying archaeology. And the third one is a baseball player. So they couldn't be more different. They get along well, though, probably because they don't have to compete with each other.
And I think that's
you do.
good.
You have to listen to it.
Yes.
Like whatever you want to do, just let them do it.
Yes.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit about, because you and I were on the phone kind of getting enraged about this one. Let's talk a little bit about an honor that was bestowed upon you in 2016. You won the Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Actress in a Short-Form Comedy or Drama in the series Acting Dead. Kudos to you. That's wonderful.
Thank you. Yes, I was
You're
very
the first
grateful.
winner in
Yes,
that category,
I am,
too.
and it's awarded by your peers.
Yeah.
So that means my fellow actors appreciated my work and gave me this award. So it's a very big honor,
But
and I'm so appreciative.
You're well loved in this business.
Thank
I
you.
mean, aren't you?
Thank
Make sure I have this straight. You are the governor, right? Co-governor of the Television Academy here in Los Angeles.
Yes, here in Life, they handle the Primetime Emmys, and yes, I am the co-governor, which is also elected by my peers.
Yeah, that's
so.
what I mean. You're a well-liked
Thank you.
actor
Yes.
in this business. And who do you co-direct?
Bob Bergen, who is
Love
the
him.
voice of Porky Pig,
Oh my God,
is
we had
my
him on the
co-governor.
show.
He is
One
the
of
best.
my favorites. He's another one. We've got to all get together
Yes.
because he was doing all these cool voices. I was like, oh my God, how does this come out of your head?
Wait, have you ever seen his show, his one-man show? If you haven't, you have to see that.
Where does he do that?
Well, he hasn't done it for a while, but he does it in a theater and talks
Bob.
about it's amazing. Amazing.
I could look it up though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Very exciting.
Yes.
Well, let's segue into this. This year, in May, the Daytime Emmy Award for your guest starring role on Amazon's soap The Bay was rescinded. Okay, you were awarded a Daytime Emmy. And let's talk about that because people know about it in the business. Okay, we've all been reading about it. But for those who don't know, on a technicality, that was taken away from you, right?
Right.
But your beef with all of this has been that you don't think that there were others who also had technical issues and they got to keep their award. Isn't that right?
That is. I think my primary beef with the whole thing is the fact that, first let me explain that there is the National Academy in New York that handles the daytime.
And they're the ones who
Yes,
did
they
this.
rescinded it.
Those New Yorkers.
The Academy here is for primetime and where I am the co-governor. They are two separate entities. Now, when I was awarded this, I was submitted by the producers, at which time it is supposed to be vetted by NATAS, the National Academy. They didn't vet it properly. My chief beef
what
about
vet
this
means to people who are like,
well,
what?
to make sure that you were in the right category, that you had the right number of episodes, that this is where you belong.
So what you're saying is it seems like they didn't do that until 2 days before the Emmy Awards.
And they didn't even do it then. So my primary
Surprise.
beef is that in my category alone, there were 4 actors who were submitted in error, which means that 4 actors who could have been submitted correctly did not make it. So they were robbed. Then there's the one poor guy who had everything right, who gets thrown out with the bathwater because they threw the whole category out. But now he
Oh.
can't be submitted again. Otherwise, he'd be in my category where he can't be a guest again. So he loses completely. So as a performer's governor, you've robbed performers of their opportunity to win that Emmy.
And that doesn't come up often. We
No,
all
it
know
doesn't.
that.
And
And it's
having won
important.
it, it's the most wonderful thing to know that your peers valued your work. I'm going to get misty. That they valued your work, and to have them negate that. And then on top of everything else, have someone in another category have errors, and they get to keep their Emmys.
Why? Could you explain that one to me? 'Cause
I can't
would be
explain
so
it because
angry.
they won't explain it. They will not justify it. And at this point, the 4 major soaps that are still on the air,
Name them.
General Hospital, Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, and Days of Our Lives, said we will not participate in the Emmys next year if you do not fix this problem and let us see what happened. There are 3 other producers of daytime shows, digital daytime shows. I can't name them right this moment. I don't have them in front of me. They are also filing suits saying, we want you to open the books and let us see what happened. That hasn't been done yet.
So from what I understand by you, they're not doing that. They're just ignoring this? What are they hoping? It's just going to go away?
Well, I'm not sure if they're ignoring it or they're hoping it'll go away, but
It's not going to go away.
the Academy here, the daytime governors here, the 4 major soaps, these digital soaps are going to stay on top of them. These are high awards. The Emmy is the highest thing you can get in television. It's a wonderful
worked
thing,
for
and to
years
put
for.
a blemish on that brand is wrong.
Let me ask you this. So let's say, it was incorrectly submitted, right? Could they have just overlooked that, or then just maybe added another category for those who should have been in there that weren't? Am I making sense?
Sort of, but you can't.
did they just have to dissolve the whole thing?
They did overlook it. In other words, I was submitted incorrectly. The next person was submitted incorrectly. The next person was submitted incorrectly. The next person was submitted,
see.
so we took it away. So they didn't do their job. We as actors, we performers, our producers did our job and submitted. We did our work. The producers submitted. The Academy, the National Academy, did not do their proper work.
So maybe the thing for them to do is recognize all of you for next year and say, this is what happened. I mean, stuff happens. Remember when?
Yeah,
when they announced the Oscar for the wrong?
La La, yes.
Oh my God!
But the problem is here is when, again, if I didn't belong in that category, which is what happened, then that's fine. I will have other opportunities. But the person who did belong in my slot will not have that opportunity again, because then they would be where I was. You can't be twice. You can only be once. Once as a guest. So that person is totally lost out, because even if they do the next season, they can't be there.
I see.
So it's not, you can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. You've got to fix this problem. And you've robbed performers of an honor. And it's just not fair.
So you've got the soap saying, look, you got to fix this or we may not be participating at all. I would think that would scare the what out of them, because then nobody's going to be watching,
It's hard to say. I mean, I don't know. There's still a lot of other categories in there. You have your game shows, you have your cooking shows, you have your judge shows. There are a lot of other participants. I would hope that some of the producers of these shows also take a look at this and say, we didn't win. Maybe there's a problem in our category too. If this many things happened in 2 categories, perhaps the entire program should be looked at.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, because it seems like they're ignoring you and all these requests, So as co-governor of the Television Academy here in Los Angeles, what do you do? What is that?
Well, we have a what we call a PGEC, which is the Performers Executive Group, which Bob has 5 and I have 5, and the 12 of us decide on things like I'm having name blanks at this point, but remember when on the Price is Right, on the Price is Right, when somebody yells, "Come on down!" Okay, that person had no home at the Academy. So
the voice guy.
The voice guy.
I want you to know that happened to me once.
Well, so as a performer, we want to bring in all the performers and give them an opportunity to have a place to go. On the Tonight Show, total blank. No, not
Leno.
no,
That
Carson.
was the other guy.
His sidekick,
Carson.
McMahon. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Sounds
Ed McMahon.
like.
Sorry. Ed McMahon had no place to go. So
Wow, they didn't even have a category for him.
Right. So this is where we've been trying to create things that the performers work their asses off.
Yeah, more people get recognized,
and that more people can be recognized for their work and have a place to go. I'm sure at this point we're going to have a podcast coming up, because this is not.
I was just going to say,
this is not
what
an
about
easy
one's
job.
favorite podcast, because you got to think on your feet. There's no teleprompter, and you just screw up all the time. I mean,
But it's fun. It's building your audience and talking to people, and that's not always easy. So
building.
Yes.
I found out I'm over. I don't know, close to 2 million views on YouTube. Which
There you
is
go.
Kind of a big deal. Now all of a sudden the publicists are going to be like, oh. That's not easy to do with a podcast. It's really
and
not.
it's growing. It's again, as we
and
talked about.
I have to do it
phones.
myself. I don't have an army behind me. It's just little.
And
old
let me just interrupt her for a moment. We were on the phone for an hour. She does her homework. We talked before I came here. The woman does her homework.
Well, because I like to know a little bit about people, because then you can weave it into the fabric of your interview. You could throw in there. So remember when you were in 8th grade, Patrika? Like I've
took
known you
cooking.
for 20 years. You took cooking?
I took cooking.
Did you pass? Because I would have failed.
I know I had home ec, but also the girls. For one whole semester, the girls had to go to shop. and the boys had to go to cooking. So that I learned how to run every power tool, which is the reason my husband of 45 years married me, because I can run every
He's
power
adorable
tool.
over there.
He is adorable.
Yeah, when he showed up today, I felt so badly his name wasn't at the guard gate. They almost left him in the streets.
I know.
But here he is. Thank you for joining us. So let's talk a little bit about ageism. You're 70. You look 45, good for you. But that's got to be kind of hard because you don't exactly look like somebody's grandma if you're going to go play a role, and there's not a lot of roles for people over, I don't know, now over 40, 50, whatever.
Well, it's so
Like, where do you
interesting
put
because
people?
if we think about it, somebody that's 35 can be a grandmother. When you
This
think,
is
when you
true.
think, so it's like we are still living in that old school of the 40s and the 30s and the 40s about grandmothers had little silver over here. They walked like this and they talked like this and everything was like So it's that's what we do. So
it's about good writing, and we need good writing. We need more women out there writing scripts and writing scripts for each other. Right? You have to put in more newscasters in your shows, right?
Well, you have to be, you realize
plug
that.
for me.
There you go. But women directors, writers, and
Everything.
everybody behind the camera, and I think
combined,
yes.
writers, directors, producers, photographers, only 28% of the business. That's still not very much.
And we're still getting 20% less money. So it's working. We're getting there, but it's taking little baby steps.
Well, we have to do it for each other.
Yes,
we have to do it for each
what
other.
I think that's more important is that we as women need to support each other instead of going, well, I don't live it. We need to get rid of that.
Most women I know, I think, have been. I want to see you succeed as much as you want to see me succeed.
I think so because
and
then we help each
not
other.
Succeed is bad for me.
That's
and
absolutely
you got to
right.
just let it. People have to let it go, don't you think?
I think so. We have to help each other.
Well, I think in the beginning, when women were just starting to be bosses, they felt like they had to be badasses like the guys, and they didn't quite know what to do, so they were being tough like a man. And it's like, nah, let it go. Just be who you are. Be a good boss, a good producer, a good writer, actress, and open the door for the best person who comes in.
I think too. You're right because I think in those days it used to be, he's assertive, she's a bitch.
If I'm called crazy one more time, because I'm not.
You're just a little wacko.
Nope, no more than you.
There you
You
go.
know how it is. A guy can just be an asshole, and it's a good thing. But if a woman comes in there demanding stuff, it's like, oh, leave. And I'm so tired of that. So I applaud all the women. My previous guest on my other show, she's out there writing scripts for people and women, and she doesn't take crap from anybody.
Well, I know you have a project. We want to have lunch and talk about that. I'm working with my publicist, Anthony Turk. We've got a project
Do
we're
we not
working
love
on.
Anthony?
We do.
Anthony is the coolest publicist in Hollywood.
The best,
I got to
too.
give a shout out for him. Now I'm going to have my lunch paid. But go ahead.
But it's that kind of thing. It's like creating our own work and working with each other, helping
Anthony
each other.
actually is also very good with his women clients because I know quite a few of them.
Yes.
Yeah, which is also not very common in Hollywood,
He's very good with them, but he also has younger clients that he's very good with, and so he's dealing with parents as well as kids and businesses. So yeah, this is the adoration of Anthony Turkower right this moment.
Yeah, good guy, really.
Yes.
I have to agree with you.
Agree with you.
So talk to me a little bit more about, so you're fighting this. This is number one for you, right? This has been a big deal for you.
It's going on in court sort of right now. I'm at that where the door is not quite closed, but it's not open either, so we don't know what's happening. So,
but you're keeping it current. You're
yes.
you're here.
Definitely.
You're writing about it. People are doing
Definitely.
articles about it. You're keeping it current. It's got to be out there.
Well, it has to be. Otherwise, what does the brand mean? If you can screw it up this badly, what does the Emmy say? And that is offensive to me because I value mine.
It's a little cowardly to be, not answering when people are saying, "What are you doing?" and to just hide behind the briefcase and, not talk about it. But they're going to have to eventually. So, what's up next for you?
Well, the Primetime Emmys right this moment, so we're going to a number of Emmy parties to meet the
so
other nominees,
fun.
which is fun. And then there'll be the Creative Emmys. There's 2 Creative Emmys, and then we have the Primetime Emmys. So once that's over, everybody kind of goes, like this, because it's so busy.
Where do you all go on vacation?
Yeah, that's what we need. And Hawaii's underwater, so I don't know where I'm going at this point.
Oh, I know, right? Well, go south.
There you go.
But project-wise, what else?
Project-wise, I'm working on several things with Anthony, as I had said. I have a couple other friends that we're doing some projects with. Again, women, doing stuff with women, for women, by women. And there are a few good-looking men in them, but that's okay too.
With less pay? Well, no, my previous guest was saying that just to prove a point, she's actually paying the women more on her set than the men, and she actually okayed it with everyone. She said, I'm trying to set a precedent to say this is what it's been like, and the men actually have gone for it, which is kind of ballsy, really, but she did it to prove a point.
As long as the point is the fact, it's like I don't think people should be rewarded just because they're a man or a woman.
I agree with you.
I think the work speaks for itself. If I don't want to see if I'm busting my butt to do something, I don't want to see this person getting the money because they're another woman or another man. Or so. I think you still have to have a quality of work to go with it. So.
You've been in the business for decades, honestly.
I know.
What do you attribute that to? First of all, you're likable. You're just adorable. So just working with you must be pleasurable on the set.
Well, thank you.
And that matters. A director does not want a real pain in the ass out there, right? There's
Well, they have enough to deal with.
I was gonna say, there's plenty of them.
Right. I think, first of all, I like to treat people the way I want to be treated, and I think if I give that out, I get it back. And sometimes, and with this whole Emmy debacle, it's been a shock to me with some of the people on the bad side, so to speak, who were friends, quote unquote, who have been a little off-putting and unkind. I don't know a better way to say that. Other publicists whose events I've gone to, who I've always been there for them and their product, whatever they want, and suddenly I'm a pariah. And believe me,
You won't be when this all passes, though.
well, at this point, my priority
You'll
at
be
this
the
point.
it girl again.
No, my
You
priority
are
is
the it girl.
Thank you, but I want to keep my priority as a governor to take care of the performers that were screwed.
Yeah.
That's just unacceptable.
So you're working on other projects. You and your husband, you enjoy traveling? I mean, it's just
We
the
don't
two
go
of you.
too much. It's just the two of us. We don't get to go too far right this moment because, again, it's like you're working on this soap and you're working on this. I'm doing a lot of other digital series right this moment. I just did, let's see, I've done Ladies of the Lake, which is wonderful. That's based on a book by Ken Corday from Days of Our Lives. Michael Caruso is the executive producer there with Kyle Lauder, and that's a wonderful thing that I'm in. The Bay, again, is still going on. I just did You Did What, which is another one.
Read about that. That's terrific. And yes, The Bay is still going on.
Yes, and Sheraton Kalura, who used to be the head of daytime, worked at Sony for a long time, just wrote his own, and I've been invited to be part of that one too. So, it's good to say I'm a working actor. I'm out there. People call and ask me to do something, and I'm very blessed to be able to do that.
And with digital media, don't you feel like there's way more opportunity as well? You don't have to wait for the big guns to always come calling.
It's kind of like a class. You need to be using your instrument all the time and working and keep memorizing and finding new ways to do things, and it opens so many more doors. So yes.
Yeah, it's just more work out there. So what's up? I mean, you going anywhere? What else are you doing just for fun when you're not working? Even though work is fun, I get it. What's that? The publicist is.
I'm going to Palm Springs. Yes, I'm going to Palm Springs for Labor Day. We're having this 50th birthday for a friend, and I'm not mentioning her name because I don't know if she wants her name mentioned.
Why?
Well, because she's 50, and I don't know if she wants everybody to know on the radio, but she wanted a Midsummer Night's Dream party.
Oh.
So we're all having to be characters from a Midsummer's Night Dream.
What a fun thing to do.
So we're going to be foo-fooing as little fairies everywhere.
That is fun. I have not been to Palm Springs in so long, and I have so many friends who are constantly going out there for weekends. They're like, you got to come back out here. So.
Yes, you do. You'll have
That
to
sounds
come
like a
play
lot
with
of
us
fun.
for sure. Yes.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
For
I'm
sure.
so glad that you came on and sort of set the record straight about what's going on with the Emmys. What?
The 70th video we haven't showed it.
Oh, yeah.
The video.
Show my
Thank you.
video.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Oh,
Why don't you walk us through that video? Do you have that ready? Thank
all right.
you.
It's only 30 seconds.
We're fine.
It's Emmy's 70th birthday this year and my 70th birthday this year. So my show, Acting Dead, decided we would do Happy Birthday Emmy. But we don't do anything normal like Happy Birthday. We wrote a whole song, did a whole dance number, and this would be it.
I love this. Okay, let's play it, and then we'll come back because I want you to explain it a little bit. I loved this.
Happy birthday, Emmy, you're 70, and you're really, really in your prime. And on behalf of anyone who's ever thanked the Academy, baby, it's your time to shine. You're ageless,
Like a beautiful melody.
Timeless, like a broken clock.
everlasting is your award-winning
Game of
family.
Thrones, Breaking Bad,
Hill Street Blues.
LA Law. How about Mad Men, Dragnet, The West Wing.
I love Lucy, Bob Newhart, The Simpsons, and Veep. Just a tiny taste of the company you keep. We're all immortal, and it's all thanks to you. We're eternally grateful
brains how to thank you. But in truth, it's all been said.
So happy birthday, Emmy, from the cast of Acting Dead.
That's adorable.
We
How
are-
did you get everybody together to do that?
Well,
It's almost impossible.
Did you notice Anthony's in the back
I
row?
did.
It
No
was like,
wonder why he would not let us leave without playing that. He goes, Deborah, don't forget to play the Emmy song. I'm like, okay, yes, Anthony's in there. How did he get himself in that thing?
Well, let me just say that we wanted to do it right away and make sure that we got there in time for the thing to be up there before the primetime Emmys. And so we were scrounging to get people to do this. We learned this on the set.
Oh.
Okay, we learned this on the set. So the dancing and everything was on the set at this day.
Oh, wow.
From the point where we're glamorous on the red carpet and into zombies on the second thing. We, Brian Beacock, who is the executive producer of this, we're still trying to get our second year funding going on. So we're just putting things out there as much as we can and how much fun it is. But it's basically an actor who couldn't get his job till he turned himself into a zombie. And now he works all the time. And I'm his ex-travel agent, talent agent, and that's where I won my Emmy. So it's a fun thing. So if you go to Amazon on Prime, you can see it, and you can watch it. You can binge it in an afternoon, and you'll enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, that's adorable.
It is fun.
How clever.
He is very clever. And again, he wrote the song, and then had us all record and then do this, and so got dancers together and singers. So it's amazing.
How many outfits do you need for Emmy season? That's got to be really stressful.
Well, I can tell you this. Barbara Chase of the Academy, the Television Academy, she goes to every event, and she's always got something new like this. It's like we go, really? Really? How many more outfits do you have? Because you can't wear the same thing. And for me, it's like every party you go to, you go, what, did I wear that? No. Yes. So you learn to
you're
swap
saying
things
you
out.
wear the same thing? or
No, you have to.
don't?
No. Because
I
you're
don't
being...
know why. Why don't we do like, I don't know, the princess over
Well,
in
if we were
England?
smart, we'd get tuxedos like the men. And then all we'd have to do is just...
Why don't you start a movement?
I
Next
think so.
year,
I think so.
ladies, everyone wear a tux.
I think so.
And
You can
it doesn't
wear-
have to be different colors. Just wear the same tux.
Yeah, nice tux. We look nice. And you can wear flat shoes. That would be the best thing. Nice flat shoes.
Wouldn't that be good? That's your next project. Yeah, and I'm actually serious because this whole like dress thing, a new dress for every single event. Anyway, we got to go. I can see your publicist back there
Like this.
going
And
like this.
then I'll just say at this point, we put too many designers out of business, so we do have to do stuff. Look at all those ladies with the fabulous dresses. So
You
we
know
don't want to
what?
put anybody out of
Don't
business.
want to do
but
that either. So I get the point. I'm glad you said that.
gotta
Not
just-
being entrenched on that side of the business. I wasn't even thinking about
we don't
that.
ever want to do that because they
No.
do these fabulous designs, which doesn't say they can't do fabulous designs on different tuxes.
That's true. Anyway, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
I'm glad you came here and sort of explained to me what's going on with the Emmys and how you're really trying to get this reversed. We're going to be watching it. We're going to be seeing what happens. So you'll come back and tell
Absolutely.
us.
I'll
would you?
come back and let's get you in the Academy.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Okay, I will do that. I'd love to do that. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for being here for Deborah Kobylt Live. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts and iHeartRadio. See you next time. Bye.